Hello Quillers, in today's video let us see how I make my own color palette samples. Generally I am not sure that I am able to choose the right colors. So these color palettes are handy when I need to choose colors for a project. To make these color palette samples, first I choose colors from a color palette that is already available on the internet. You can get a lot of them in Pinterest. This method is so easy and you can be so sure that you are selecting the colors right every time. The other method to choose right colors is to find a picture that is picture perfect. In other words, a picture that has colors coordinating so well and the colors are in harmony to each other. From these pictures, we need to pick out the colors and make our palette. I compare my quilling paper samples to the picture and pick out the colors that match correctly. Remember, the device we use and its screen or monitor setting will affect the color shades. Also, the limited number of quilling paper shades available make it sometimes hard to get all the colors right. But that shouldn't completely hinder our job of making color palettes. Then I write down the colors to a blank visiting card. If you don't have blank visiting card, then you can cut cardstock to 2 into 3.5 inch size rectangles. After noting down the colors, let us make the color strips ready. To make the color strips, I use a rough sheet of paper and paste 3 strips of quilling paper of each color. These quilling papers I use are 3 mm in size. You can instead use one single strip of 10 mm wide quilling papers for the color strips, and you can skip this step. Then I cut down the strips and save them for making more color palette samples. I also note down the color names for easy use in future. I make color strips with all the colors of quilling papers I have, which makes my work of making color palettes convenient. Next step is to adhere the color strips to the card. I pick out all the color strips to make a palette. To make it look neat, I draw a line and then adhere them in order. Earlier, I used to adhere each 3 mm paper directly to the visiting card, but it took a lot of time and making many palettes in a single go is tiring. These color strips made it much faster and simple. I cut off the excess from the side and save the remaining color strip for my next palette. You can see the color name in the strips are in the other end, so I don't need to write the name again for at least 2 or 3 more palettes. I also write down the name of colors with their color code and put them in a card holder. This card holder is small and handy. Otherwise, I used to put them in bigger file leaves that are particularly used for holding visiting cards. Hope this video will be helpful for you in making your own color palettes. Next week in our channel, we can see how to make color samples of your quilling papers. Subscribe and keep supporting.